the influence of alcohol, I said the word addicted. Let me just be clear, I'm not addicted to anything. I regret my choices from that night and I've moved past it. My party had no alcoholic drinks because when me and my mom were talking about it, we were like, it would be weird to be having alcohol at the same party that's meant for minors. So I'm sorry to let you down, and I hope that you guys can also help me support me through my journey. And yeah, it just seems like every time I try to stop, there's something that always brings me back to it, and it's really hard for me.
So, you guys, it is happening again. A new video of PaulTooReal is going viral, and not for the right reasons. In the clip, Paul is seen vaping, and it honestly looks like he didn't even realize his phone was recording when he posted it. Like, he forgot the camera was still rolling, hit upload, and suddenly it's out there for everyone to see. Because this isn't just another oops, I posted by accident moment. This comes right after Paul threw that big party everyone is still talking about. The one where people claimed there was drinking, and at that, he was seen vaping that night too. So when this clip popped up, this wasn't out of nowhere. It felt like confirmation that all of those rumors about him slipping back into old habits might actually be true. And just so we're on the same page, here is the clip everyone has been talking about, the one that started all of this. Before he could even take it down, people had already screen recorded it. So even though he tried to delete it, that moment is everywhere now, and it's not just the clip itself that's getting attention, it's what it represents. And that is what pushed Paul to finally speak up. After it started blowing up again, he went on his YouTube channel to address it head on. He looked emotional, nervous even, but you could tell he was determined to explain what really happened.
I have been struggling with that for honestly a while now. And I just want to say stuff like that is highly addictive, and at the time I honestly was just like, oh yeah, like it's not that big of a deal.
He started by admitting that he has been struggling behind the scenes with something serious, something that has really taken a toll on him. Apparently, a private clip had accidentally been posted to his story for a few minutes, and fans instantly knew what it was. That short video basically confirmed what people had been whispering about for months. And this is where things got real. Paul explained that what fans saw in that clip wasn't a one-time mistake. It was part of a bigger issue he has been fighting. He said it's something he has been trying to quit for a while now, and that staying clean has been one of the hardest things he has ever done. Right now, he claims he has been sober for about 2 weeks, but it hasn't been easy, especially with the millions of people watching his every move. He admitted it feels hypocritical to promote positivity online while secretly dealing with an addiction, but instead of making excuses, he just owned it, saying he wants to be better and that public pressure only makes the process harder.
I'm actually 2 weeks clean. It has been really hard, honestly, to be trying to stop that while like in the public eye, because so many people have different views on it. And me personally, I think it's a terrible thing, and I definitely do not support it at all.
And what really stood out was how grateful he sounded. He thanked his friends for keeping him grounded and said that their support has been the only thing keeping him from giving up. At the end, he apologized to his followers for letting them down, especially the ones who look up to him. He said relapse feels like it is always one step away, but this time he is committed to staying clean for real. And right here is the part that really got people emotional. You can hear it in his voice when he apologizes and admits that he still needs support from his fans to keep going.
So I'm sorry to let you down, and I hope that you guys can also help me support me through my journey. And yeah, it just seems like every time I try to stop, there's something that always brings me back to it, and it's really hard for me, to be fully honest.
It was one of those rare moments where Paul actually seemed vulnerable, like he was finally letting people see what's really been going on behind the scenes. But now that the clip has resurfaced, it's hard not to wonder if that honesty was real or if it was just another moment made for the camera. Because right before this confession, Paul had hosted a massive party that ended up being a full-blown controversy on its own. He invited a bunch of influencers, including some big TikTok names, and according to several people who were there, the vibe wasn't as innocent as it looked online. And here is a quick look at what people are calling the Paul party. Pay attention to what's happening in the background.
Oh, your body!
Reports came out saying that there was alcohol at the party, even though Paul is still technically underage, and people claimed that he was vaping that night too. At first, Paul denied everything. He said that the rumors were exaggerated and that nothing inappropriate was happening, but then a few days later, he turned around and apologized. He admitted that he had vaped and said that it was a mistake on his part, but insisted he didn't supply any alcohol.
So the truth is, I went to a party, which I did do, and I drank, which did also happen, and I tried nicotine. While under the influence of alcohol, I said the word addicted. Let me just be clear, I'm not addicted to anything. I regret my choices from that night and I've moved past it. Did I make a bad decision? Yes. But the haters ran with it to make it seem way worse than it is. And they do this to try to ruin my platform.
Still, by this point, the internet had already made up its mind. Because when you're the same person who has been preaching positivity and recovery online, seeing you vape and party like nothing happened, yeah, that is not a good look. Now, this is where things take a turn, because after that party, Reddit basically went off. One post in particular started going viral, and it said, "Did anybody else find this Paul party kind of weird? He's known online for being a creep around younger girls. I saw some pictures of him standing between a bunch of girls, and IDK, it gave P. Diddy vibes." That alone had people raising eyebrows, but the post didn't stop there. It continued. Mostly famous girls came, all in very tight, revealing dresses like Paisley. If my kid got invited, no way I'd let them around this Paul guy. And that's where it really started spiraling, because people were now questioning who Paul hangs out with and what kind of environment he is creating for these younger creators. Another Reddit thread added even more fuel. One user wrote, "So basically, I'm sure we all know Tiffany recently took Paisley, Navy, and Luke to Paul's party. And I just wanted to share something serious I just found out. Apparently, there was alcohol provided at this party, and someone who's friends with Paisley admitted that they were drinking." According to this same post, the friend admitted to drinking but didn't confirm whether Paisley or the others were involved. The user ended by saying, "It's crazy Tiffany would even let them go to a party where teenagers are underage drinking and smoking. It's also been exposed that Paul, who is 16, was caught vaping at the party, so who knows who else was drinking and vaping." But that wasn't even the end of it. In the same post, they brought up how Paul once tried to justify liking a 14-year-old when he was almost 17. That line alone, he's also the one who pretended he liked her and tried to justify liking a 14-year-old at almost 17, so he's definitely weird, is what reignited a whole conversation about boundaries and accountability. Because if even half of that is true, it is not just careless, it is concerning. It doesn't just make Paul look irresponsible, it makes him look like a bad influence on younger creators who still trust him. And that's where the internet split in two. Some people think that Paul's live confession was genuine, like he's just a teenager trying to figure things out while growing up under a microscope. You've got people saying things like, he's a teenage human boy, obviously he's going to make mistakes. And bro, why are y'all acting like Paul is your child? He can do what he wants. And okay, that's one side of it, but then there's the other half of the internet that is not buying it at all. They are saying this isn't the first time that Paul has pulled something like this. One comment that went viral literally said, "I honestly don't care about it, but isn't he the one who said in a video where he was clearly drunk and said he was addicted, made an apology video and said he wasn't addicted?" That one hit hard because it sums up what a lot of people are thinking. This pattern keeps repeating itself. Every time there's backlash, there is suddenly a confession video, an apology, or a redemption post ready to go.
My party had no alcoholic drinks because when me and my mom were talking about it, we were like, it would be weird to be having alcohol at the same party that's meant for minors.
And that's what makes people suspicious, because it's starting to feel less like someone being honest about their struggles and more like someone using their struggles for engagement. Now, all this is wild because Paul built his entire brand on being real. I mean, even look at his name. He was the funny, unfiltered kid who talked about anxiety, friendships, and online pressure. He branded himself as the one who kept it honest, and now people are realizing maybe that honesty has limits. And look, I'll be real, it's sad seeing someone that young already tangled in this much controversy. But what's worse is watching him not learn from it. This isn't the first time Paul has been caught lying or caught doing something he said he'd quit. And every time it's the same script: tears, confessions, and then another slip up. And yeah, maybe he is struggling with something serious, but you can't ask for accountability and then hide behind "I'm just human" when the truth comes out. At this point, Paul doesn't need another apology video. He needs to actually go offline, get help, and stop turning every mistake into content. And until he stops chasing clicks and starts chasing help, he is going to keep ending up right back here, caught, exposed, and apologizing all over again. Because you can fake a smile, fake a story, and even fake a redemption arc, but you can't fake growth.